Hey, we're alive. We're back with Trashfire, and
There's no pretentiousness tonight.
oh no, all delusions of grandeur are gone, absolutely fucking positively gone. But before I start, I just want to thank some people because this was a fucking quest of a movie to find. But thanks to Triv from Trivia Theatre, also thanks to TYTD reviews and Eric. Hello Internet, Eric from Hello Internet. It's Eric here, and Deacon Munster. I was able to track down this movie. Jen's probably cursing him now. She's
Bastards.
But no, big thanks to that crew. They went out, they hunted this flick down for me, and they all sent me different links. And to them, I thank you so much. That fucking you saved my ass. Hello, DMC. Hey, dudes.
DMC.
I wonder if this will be as good as Every Which Way But Loose. I watched it last night. No.
Oh
No.
This
No,
is
no, no, no.
Cadillac
No.
good.
No. So a bit of a history lesson, right? TRAXX came out in 1988 and originally started life as a straight shooter kind of action movie, kind of Lethal Weapon, kind of wannabe movie. But the thing is, the director, he is like, I actually would prefer to do a comedy. And they were like, but you've most of the movie, you've like nearly half of the movie shot. Fuck it, sure, we can change direction. We can use those scenes later on. And luckily enough, they had a guy, Shadow Stevens, who was a DJ. And Shadow Stevens is an interesting guy. Myself and Jen will get into him. Hey, Eric here. Dude, you're a fucking legend. I love you, man. Thank you as well.
You son of a bitch, Eric.
but yeah, no, so essentially this movie switched genres like halfway through production, and it ended up becoming a comedy, and by god, it's fucking brilliant. It's I love it, Jen.
I'm not gonna go that far, guys. I respect this movie. I don't entirely didn't enjoy it as much as Marty, but I didn't hate it either. There are some I do have some things that I like about it, and probably my biggest praise of this movie is like Shadow Stevens. If it were any other actor, he does bring a charm and charisma. This movie would be insufferable if it was some other lesser actor, because oh my god, this you have to have a good lead for this kind of a movie. And to its credit, Shadow Stevens brings his A game and brings a lot of charm and charisma to this role. And this movie needs it. This movie needs it. Don't you think, Marty?
Excuse me, this movie was fantastic, Jen. I love the premise of this movie. So essentially, what you got is a cop, and he's a loose cannon. He's like classic 80s cop. I don't follow the rules. And he's kicked out of the police force. And he's like, fuck it, I'm going to be a mercenary. So he goes to like Nicaragua and the Middle East, and he's like, I don't like being a mercenary. I think I'm going to change careers. And Jen, what career does he decide he wants to do?
Well, you would think special ops for the CIA, maybe, or FBI. No, he decides to go by way of Betty Crocker, and he wants to make his own cookies. The problem is he's about as good of a cook as I am. Like that, there is a cookie montage. Yes, there is a cookie. Let this sink in, people. There is a cookie montage in our rough, tough action movie where he's baking in this grimy kitchen, and there's like a blender filled with pink stuff, and he's like trying all these different recipes, and like the fucking oven is on fire, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here, people? It's interesting, it's charming. I've never seen a baking montage in an 80s action movie, so good on you, movie. Good on you.
Look, I get my thing is though, like the fact is, TRAXX thinks if he gets money, that'll make him a better baker, but no,
No, no,
no.
no. You can have the finest ingredients, the best baking tools, the greatest kitchen, and you can still. I know this from personal experience. I could set water on fire, and I think he's kind of on my level. He has the passion, but not the talent.
No. So, like, he ends up slipping on some of the batter and knocking his head. And he's listening to the radio and has an epiphany. There's a town called Hadleyville, and it needs a town tamer. As my baking skills, Jesus Christ. If it's pizza, if it's a frozen pizza, I'm like fucking Jamie Oliver.
Yeah,
I'm fucking mwah. But
Gordon Ramsay.
bar that. Not much else. But yeah, so essentially he decides after hearing the radio, he's going to be a town tamer for Hadleyville, which main export seems to be cocaine, prostitution, liquor, and crime. And I don't know what it is. I want to meet the fucking warped individual who thought neon signs look classy.
See, I like the neon signs because there's this one, guys, where you're walking into this town, right? And it says studs and it has kind of a neon pink horse. And I mean, right there, that gives you a good vibe. And it's a pink neon horse. And of course, pink is like a phallic penis. So, and it's studs. So even though the horse doesn't have a penis, that's where my mind goes is penis. And we're going into like a prostitution brothel type thing. So I'm okay with that. I actually appreciate the neon thing. It gives you kind of a dirty little feel. It works both on the action movie thing and even on the baking. Yeah, I'm kind of okay
Yeah,
with
pink, yes, I suppose. But this movie like spares no time showing you how fucking crime ridden. I mean, this is like probably Gotham City / RoboCop levels of crime, Jen, right?
Yeah, this is the seediest things. And like this movie doesn't take itself seriously. He goes in and he just starts shooting everyone, which doesn't seem to be, I mean, I know he's a rogue cop, but I guess they're trying to make the point of how all of these movies, how they don't play by the rules, but he literally walks in and goes into a brothel and just starts shooting everybody. And there's also
No. He doesn't start shooting everybody, Jen. And Jen made a good point. This does lampoon action movies. So he goes in and he shoots the toilets, which are located next to the beds. He's like, sorry, toilet's out. I love that. Sorry, toilet's out. Toilet's out. And he's like clearing everyone out. And then he busts into a room. And there's a daycare center. And I'm assuming it's for the prostitutes.
probably.
Like, and what?
I was just gonna say, I was so puzzled with the hotel rooms because you think he's talking about the bathroom. Literally, there's a bed where people are getting it on, like Marvin Gaye, and the toilet's literally, it's like almost a nightstand. That's how close the toilet is to the bed. And I just kind of looked at Marty and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? It's funny. I'll give you this, Marty. It is funny, but it's also, I mean, you just don't want to have sex next to a toilet. I mean, sometimes you do, but generally speaking, it's not that great. I don't know. It just takes something away, especially if you're paying for it.
Well, there goes my fucking bucket list.
I always have to be a killjoy. But that one scene, I will give you that. It is kind of funny when he's shooting out the toilets. Like it didn't make me laugh like it did you, but it did make me kind of crack a smile. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cute. I get where this movie is going. And this movie, if you hadn't figured it out by this point, you can definitely tell it doesn't give a shit. It's just we're going to have fun.
He's clearing out the brothel. And there's there's the daycare center, and some dude takes one of the kids hostage. And he's like, oh, you better leave, or this little shit's not going to see. He's next. Hey, kid, what age are you? I'm 6.5. 7th birthday! and TRAXX comes in and shoots the gun out of the hand. And because the kids are there, he doesn't shoot the guy. He shoots the guy's belt buckle. He shoots it repeatedly and knocks the guy out the window.
As you do. Hi, Sparky. And also my question, and I'm glad you brought this up, Marty, because I still have this question for you. What are 6 and 7-year-olds doing in a brothel?
I suppose prostitutes can't get daycare.
That's true. I get. You know what? That does make sense. I'll let that one slide. I was about ready to go on a tirade, but that's actually a pretty good excuse. I mean, and they're and they make the room. In fairness to this, they it's not a seedy room. They make it like what you would go into a daycare. So I'll buy that one. I'll let that one slide. That's actually pretty good. Okay, props.
That or just like the situation is so bad that fucking, rent, they have to, okay, we'll open a daycare center, the cheapest place we can get to open it. Because in a brothel, I digress. So, TRAXX is trying to suss out what way the city is and who runs the city and stuff. So he ends up teaming up with a wannabe pimp called Dita, played by Willard E. Pugh. Now, if you're wondering why do I recognize that name, he is the mayor from RoboCop 2.
Mm-hmm.
He's the mayor who goes, that is a killer and I saw it. He's the mayor from RoboCop 2.
And I think he's been in other things because I recognized him as well. I can't tell you where, but I know
he's in Guyver. Christian is he in Guyver as well? He's one of the guys who's like human guys who's working for the bad guys in Guyver.
Probably. I know I've seen him somewhere. This movie, strangely, has a lot, like you said, a lot of bit players and a lot of familiar faces. Like, that is one thing I will give this movie. Like, not super high-end people, but people you're like, hey, I know that person. Oh, I know that person. It's kind of cool.
Like, you have John Hancock, who plays the kind of chief of police as well, that Jen recognized. And then the main baddie, Aldo Pellucci, is played by Robert Davi, who you know from any horror fan might know from Maniac Cop or Living Daylights, or like he's a diehard.
And he's also in a lot of gangster movies. He play usually bit parts, but he usually is in a lot of gangster movies as well.
I like his introduction as well, because like you think he's going to be this kind of super suave kind of villain, but like he gets his jacket caught in the limousine and has to blow out the tires of the limousine. I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny.
Well, it is kind of cute, and again, he's kind of probably the biggest star in the movie, and you can tell he's not taking it too seriously. Although there is a scene later we'll get to where he is playing it pretty serious, and the scene is pretty silly, where he's.
Oh yeah. So meanwhile, the chief of police has contacted the mayor, played by Priscilla Barnes. And I think this was Jen's favorite character.
She was my spirit animal. She was horny. Her whole motivation, besides her being the mayor, was she was horny, and she hadn't been laid in since she had been elected, which was 3 years.
3 years.
God damn! Like, I feel that. Like, I'm like, God damn! And she when she has an interaction with Shadow Stevens, they meet at a library, and they're on opposite sides of the law, and you think they're gonna have this, contentious kind of relationship, and she's like, I'm right, you're wrong. And it's really funny. And I got to give it to the actress, because I think she's having a blast and just going, okay, I got to take this now. I can take this. And and there's a table there, and she just is in this kind of peach silk dress, and she's just breathing heavy, and she's using words, and you can tell she's just getting so turned on by him. And the scene is funny because they're in a library, and all the library cards just, which is a metaphor, and there's a fountain going, and they're having fun. I liked her. I thought she was a trip. She was my favorite part of the movie, because of course she was, because she was super horny. Yay, horniness.
Then if you never knew me and hadn't had sex in 3 years, would Shadow Stevens look like a fairly appetizing looking individual with that hair?
Because he's actually not a bad looking dude, and there's something, again, he brings something to the role. It's not just that he's a pretty boy. There's like a wink and a nod that he's in on the joke and he's just having a good time. And I always appreciate that. Like, you can't take yourself too seriously, so that's an attractive thing. So yeah, I get that.
It is fun. Again, the characters are super likable. There was one bad guy as well who ran up like Robert Davi's character, and he's like doing the whole classic motherfucker, and then Robert Davi's like, look, can you calm down? And he's like, fine, okay, I'll tell you what happened. A man of formidable combat skills wiped out a large percentage of our critical population in our small little hamlet, and I have decided to give you a courtesy call to let you know I'm getting the fuck out of town. That was brilliant. There's another bit where that character's like shooting at fucking Shadow Stevens and Dieter, shooting at TRAXX and Dieter in the truck, and like he reverses, grabs the fucking automatic off him, and he's like, look, give me that, you're being embarrassed, and just fucking casually slides and shoots your man. He goes, look, what you need if you're of a nervous disposition, get a revolver. They're much more easier to use. And he just fucking, I love moments like that. I thought that was funny.
It was kind of funny. I also like our one, he's not exactly a henchman. He's kind of like an underling for the one boss, and he gets captured by these other guys and has to play Old MacDonald. That was actually kind of a funny scene where he has to like make noises for the animals. And at first they're giving him easy ones like chickens and ducks and things. And then he has to give a marsupial sound. Which I think fuck too. I was thinking as I was going, what the fuck does a marsupial sound like? It was kind of a funny scene.
Yeah, no, it did. That's the thing, DMC. It started off as a regular action movie. That's why it had such a high budget.
Do you think this would make a good feature for Last Action Hero? Christian thinks it would.
It did lampoon. It did lampoon action movies because you could like the director was like taking a piss out of like how the guys never seem to run out of ammo or anything. But so yeah, the Robert Davi's character hires a bunch of Turkish Mexican bandits called the Guzik brothers, and these guys are fucking just a combination of psychopaths and assholes. Because there's one scene where like there's a group of cyclists, and they just pop out of the top of the limousine and start clubbing these cyclists. And they miss one guy, so they stop and fucking shoot him. I thought I liked that bit as well.
I did too. There are some slow parts. I'm not gonna lie and say I love this as much as you, because there was a couple parts that were a little slow for me. But when they hit a good joke, they do hit some good jokes. They do, for the time and place. And again, like you said, this was a movie that was supposed to be one thing and turned into something completely different. It could have been a bigger mess than it turned out to be. I'll give it that. And there's some cute things about it.
I had fun with it. There is one scene that myself and Jen did kind of get a good chuckle out of. So Robert Davi, right? He's at home. He's hired these Guziks and mercenaries to kill TRAXX. So TRAXX decides to interrupt Robert Davi while he's in bed with his mistress or whatever. He comes through the window on a bike. Well, Jen, would you like to set up the scene? What's going on?
Well, he's in bed, right? And they're in this very lavish kind of bedroom and stuff. And she's on the job, guys. She is giving, on the job. And you would think he'd be all, and he is in the meanwhile pumping, like little arm weight thingamajiggers. And it's like she has to pump him up so he can get on top of her, like for a while. And then I also thought it was funny because Shadow Stevens gives him marital advice, because he's like, you guys have got to clear out, and the mistress wife whatever is like, but do I have to? And he basically has to give a marriage advice, and I thought that was cute how they were playing it. And like Shadow Stevens, you can say, I'm not here for this, people.
He's like, fuck this. Like when he comes into the bike, your man's obviously having erectile issues. He holds him at gunpoint As a result, Robert Davi finally gets an erection.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. And then out of nowhere, it's supposed to be their son, I suppose. This
Yeah.
Boy George looking fucking dude. I don't know how to explain it. He comes out and he's like, "Hey, dude, nice bike. Can I ride?" It's like,
I don't know what that character was, and then at the end, even though they kind of become friends, he tries to shoot Shadow Stevens, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm still trying to make my dad proud of me." And Shadow Stevens like, "We've all been there," and then he leaves.
yeah.
It's a weird. Maybe somebody who was writing this had daddy issues. I don't know.
But so the Guzicks, they do fucking piss around a lot with the Guzicks. I mean, the Guzicks are just driving around, decimating places, and like fucking
Stealing children off the baseball field.
yeah. They steal a little league team. Also, Jen, the guy in the pet store. Oh Christ, we never talked about the pet store.
Oh God!
At the start of the movie, sorry, it was Leon Rippey. That was the guy you recognized. TRAXX was originally a sheriff, and there's a scene with a pet store where it's like, oh, we can't move in. Why not? These guys are serious. They killed an old lady and a puppy.
And a puppy.
And like the first line in the movie is a character screaming out the front of the pet store, "This monkey's begging for its life." And this catches you up. So Shadow Stevens breaks through the window of a pet store on a fucking skateboard, shoots the gun out of the bad guy's hand. Bad guy surrenders. And Shadow Stevens is like, "The hell you are." He tosses the bad guy his own gun and then draws another gun on him. I just love this character. If this was a TV series, I don't know. I just love that character.
Would you have liked to seen a part 2? This, you said, has a cult following, correct?
Yeah, but I think poor old Shadow's like, what age is he,
74.
Jen?
74. Yeah. He's
I
doing
can't see him.
children's books. He's still working the DJ end of it. He still does a lot of announcement work, radio work. He does a thing with Sammy Hagar on a radio station. They kind of did together a collaboration, and he writes children's books. So he's a very multifaceted guy.
He's pretty. He was like, I think you said it already. He was the host on Hollywood Squares as well, right, Jen?
He was the host of Hollywood Squares. He did the hosting announcement for Late Night with Craig Ferguson, all kinds of stuff. He does have a really good voice. I mean, it works. It works. And there's like, again, that likability kind of eases through.
Comes through on the voice.
Mm-hmm.
I think really he was voiced the character in the Hulk animated series, Doc Samson, I think.
Yep.
But yeah, right. So I digress. We've kind of gone off on the tangent. So, like, the boys, both Dieter and TRAXX are making cookies. They're in the process of making cookies. And Robert Davi turns up to try and fucking kind of bribe them or corrupt them. And they're like, "Oh, this fucking dickhead." And he's trying this. What's this chili con cookie? And he's trying to, fucking cookies are shit. And he goes, "Even if I threatened to kill people, they wouldn't eat your cookies." And like fucking TRAXX is getting pure upset. He's like, "Man, you don't have to say that." He goes, "Here's what I think of your cookies." And he farts for a good solid half a minute. He's just farting. And the guy's like, "We better move upwind." And this is how our main bad guy dies. Okay?
You love this.
Okay, so he's farting for a solid minute. He's like, "Yeah, fuck you." And he lights a cigar. He blows himself up with his own fart.
Best death in any action movie, Marty?
Oh, yes. Yes. Best death ever.
That didn't charm me as much as it did you, but you know, it was creative. It was creative.
Look, fucking, if you blow yourself up with your own fart, like that's
is that
chef's kiss.
Is that a great way for a dude to go out? Is that something you...
Like, honest to God, I think I would be like, on the entry to Valhalla, it's like, "How did you die?" "I blew myself up with your own fart." "Let this man in! Give him 50 wenches!"
I'll cut all those winches.
I'll cut the cheese to get those wenches. Hey!
I see what you did there.
So anyway, right? We just lost 2 viewers. I'm sorry. I'll never tell a joke like that again. I promise. But so the Guziks finally arrive and they kidnap a little league team. Okay, they kidnap a little league team and turn them into a human shield and call out TRAXX. And in the process, Dieter is shot.
No.
Poor Dieter, but he survives. But he's lost a lot of blood. How much blood did Dieter lose, Jen?
A liter.
That's right. Damn. Dieter lost a liter. I love that fucking line.
I know you
The
do.
line's fucking gold.
I know you do.
Jen's like, fuck this movie.
No, not fuck this movie. It's like I said, I was in more misery in Night Beast. I have more nice things to say about this one.
So it's like, okay, he's so fucking, the mayor's like, damn it, TRAXX, you gotta stop the Guziks. So he's like, fine, I'll stop the Guziks. And they're in like a brothel. So Shadow Stevens climbs up on a building next to it and shoots. They have the kids tied in front of the brothel entrance. And he shoots them free, and he's running across the rooftops. Classic action hero thing. And he jumps and he goes through a roof and lands on the TV of this gorgeous, cute, adorable elderly couple. He goes, so sorry for dropping in. Misa casa, Susa casa. And it's like, hey, are you baking? Yes, cookies. Tuna and macaroon. Tuna and macaroon. Tuna and macaroon. And Shadow Stevens like, I'll be back. And him and the TV goes straight to the floor. And he arrives in front of the Guziks. And he's like, fists or guns? And the Guziks are like, is this fucking dude for real? Fists? And he goes, fine, and tosses his guns away. And of course the boys all pull out their guns. Boom. And start shooting at him. And there's a really intense gun battle. But the TV Shadow Stevens knocked into the the bar is playing some feminist column.
Yes. That was cute.
What was it playing again, Jen? Can you remember?
So it has this woman, kind of like a female news show type of thing, and talking about how men who have to use guns almost always have teeny tiny microscopic, you can't find it unless you have like a fucking magnifying glass kind of penises. And all of the Shadow Stevens and the bad guys are just kind of stopping their gunfight and listening to this. And then finally the bad guys get pissed off and start boom, 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 boom to the TV, and like, yeah, it's funny because you have heard that commentary before, like, you know, they need big guns to compensate for things that aren't that big in their pants. So it's a funny commentary. It does work. That one did make me smile.
That was cool. That was fun. The Guziks fucking, they're distracted. Stevens escapes, and they essentially they try and ambush him, but he gets away. And there's a big fucking car chase with TRAXX in his GMC truck, and the Guziks. Also, fun fact: through the entire last gun battle, TRAXX is wearing a T-shirt with his image and the name of the movie on the T-shirt. It's like, it's like we don't give a fuck.
Maybe Wes Craven got some ideas from this. Meta humor.
Jesus, I hope not.
And this is coming from a fan.
So there's a big kind of showdown in the middle of a train yard, and fucking the Guziks are playing chicken with TRAXX, and suddenly a sign on the GMC truck pops up: engine needs to be serviced. So he's like, fuck, so he has to get out, and the Guziks come at him and they try and get him with dynamite, and of course he shoots it out of their hand into the limousine, and they drive right by and explode. Yay! Hadleyville is saved. Hadleyville is saved, and TRAXX opens up his cookie stand called Snacks by TRAXX.
You love that as well. It's catchy, and you forget, like the dynamite scene, Marty. We transition into fireworks.
Yeah, well, it's a nice transition.
It
It's
is.
a
I
lovely
wasn't. That was
transition.
it's transition to
I,
fireworks, and the mayor is on the mic, and she's like changed her mind, and yay vigilantism, and be known for all you bad guys that TRAXX will fucking kill you. We have a hero, woo! And she's still horny.
yeah, she's like, you need to grab some of TRAXX's cookies.
It's his dick she wants to grab, in case you people haven't figured it out. Yay!
It's but their cookie place is doing gangbusters, even though the recipe is terrible, and they get a surprise guest to they get a surprise guest
How
to
the
their
fuck
cookie
did
stall.
they get him?
Famous Amos turns up. He goes, "Give me one of those peppermint cough drop cookies." And he goes outside. He goes, "You know what? This young boy might put me out of business." And he eats it. He's like, "One moment." and the mayor and TRAXX get together, and I love this movie. It's not deep.
No.
It's not trying to be something it's not. It's just fun.
Yeah, it's fun, and nobody was counting to 50 to try to get Kim Basinger to come back to them at the end.
No, no.
This one was interesting. Like, I didn't like. I can't. I'm always gonna be honest with you people, and I'm always gonna be honest with Marty. This one didn't quite hit me the way it did Marty, but I can acknowledge there's some fun to be had, and I do respect it that they're not taking itself too seriously. They're just a bunch of people having fun. Shadow Stevens has a hell of a lot of charisma, and like I said, this movie I think could be awful if it was some other actor in the role. I really do believe that. So it really shows a competent thing of Shadow Stevens. And I like the horny mayor. Like, she's my spirit animal.
I'm trying to think, what else was Priscilla Barnes? She was in some other stuff as well. I must try and check it out.
Yeah, it's not the naked. At first, it came up the Naked Gun movies, but I'm wrong on that. I know I'm wrong on that, but I can't think of what she was in. But I know I've seen her in something.
Like she was good. She not only like was she was funny as well. Like
Yeah.
she had
She literally, the one scene in the library, it's an all or nothing scene, and she's squeezing onto her dress, and she's about to literally pop out of her dress and pop into an orgasm, and she's just giving it for all it's worth, and you can almost see Shadow Stevens like trying to bite the inside of his mouth, because I think he's having so much fun, but he's trying to hold into character.
Oh, there's moments where these characters are like, I'm saying this line and I can't believe I'm saying this fucking line. Like the bit where Dieter lost the leader. I genuinely think your man Pew like looked at him and said, "Are you for fucking real? Did you just say that?" Fun fact, Jen. So Priscilla Barnes, she starred in a movie with Robert Davi called License to Kill. She was the love interest in that.
Yes, I love License to Kill.
She was also in Stepfather 3,
Mm-hmm.
The Devil's Rejects, and Mallrats.
Okay. Then now we're talking. I actually love I don't love the Stepfather 3, but I have an interesting relationship with Stepfather 3. So yeah.
So she was good. She was fun. Willard E. Pugh, who played Dieter, was good as well. He was like, "Look, man, you need to merchandise. You need to have a symbol. Superman has the S, Batman has the bat." So he's like, "Here, fuck it. We'll just put the movie poster onto your T-shirt and make you wear it."
No one is bad in this. That's one thing I will say. Everyone is taking this, exactly the right way. They're just having.
They're all having fun with it. Even
Yeah.
Robert Davi. I mean, if Robert Davi is down to earth enough that he can realize, well, in this movie I'm going to blow myself up with my own fart. It's like
Yeah, and sometimes you don't need, like you said, Marty, sometimes we don't need to have a big think piece or something serious or pretentious. We just can have a good time. Now, I didn't have as good a time as you did, but I don't hate it. And I'm not sorry I saw this one. I'm not sorry I saw this one. I'm not probably going to be in a hurry to re-see it, but I'm not sorry I saw it. And I wouldn't deem it a trash fire. I would deem it a trash fire, but in the good way, like in the good
Yeah.
way.
And like so it doesn't jeopardize our relationship in any way, shape, or form.
No, no.
Yay! Thank God.
I think
DMC,
mine
yeah.
in a half weeks did that more.
No, it's not your fault. Fucking Mickey Rourke and Basinger fucking food. DMC, yeah, it's just VHS, but if you know where to look, you can find it. And yeah, I'll stick around and I'll try and help you with it. But by and large, I had fun with this movie. Shadow Stevens has great charisma. All the characters and actors are having fun. If you're looking for a dumb, fun movie that lampoons action movies,
You could do
this
worse.
is definitely it. Yeah, you could do worse.
You know what this
I
would make a great double feature with?
what?
Loaded Weapon. National Lampoon's
Oh,
Loaded Weapon.
I
Don't
love
you?
Loaded Weapon.
I do
Yeah,
too. I do too. That would make a good double. I think I like Loaded Weapon a little bit more than this, but you can see where it would work, right? Those would be great movies to kind of watch on a Saturday.
no, yeah, the bit where they're entering the apartment building and Samuel Jackson's like, "Hey, you, not so fast." Your man slows down. It's like that's better. Uh, I think we're being followed, and there's a guy in the back seat with a balaclava, and they suddenly do this wide angle turn. Lost him. He's got.
Tim Curry in Girl Scout cookies.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Hey, Cara.
Welcome.
But yeah, no, not a super long kind of review because not
There's
very
not a
super
lot to talk
complicated.
about with this one. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I had fun with it. I think if you're looking for some fun, dumb fun, check it out. But
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
Um,
this is a fun one to watch on a Saturday. I'm not sorry we watched it, darling.
I'm not sorry I watched it with you.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry. I wouldn't have watched it with anyone but you. So you do broaden my horizon a lot on my movie taste. So
For better or worse.
till death do us part, and even not even death.
I'm never getting the Valhalla.
No, you're not. Well, you might get there, but you'll get there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you're gonna hear, darling.
Here's
Fuck.
your 12 wenches. No, keep them. It's just start to fly.
5, 4, 3,
3, 2, 1.
Darling!
Where are you?
Fuck.
But so have you decided? Our next week, I think we might. I'm not sure. You Are Not My Mother or mid-90s. Which would you prefer?
Either one. I'm going to leave it up to you because I think they both can be. I think they're both going to be very serious discussions. With You Are Not My Mother, I'm really interested because that is an Irish movie, and it's dealing with a lot of Irish folklore, and I think it would be very interesting the dynamic because I think you'll pick up on a lot of stuff I'll miss. But I've seen a little bit of it, and the movie is really good so far. I still need to finish it, but it's really good. On the other hand, though, mid-90s, and Christian brought up an interesting point. The only people he's ever heard talk about this movie are guys from the 90s. He said it would be kind of interesting to hear a woman's perspective on it.
I'm interested from that aspect as well, that you grew up in the 90s, but also you're a mom because the character Stevie is kind of like the same age as Jake. So I would be interested in getting that. But yeah, also some other stuff. If you haven't checked it out, Jen was on Ethel's channel with
Some
Awesome
fabulous
Crew
people.
last night.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Go on, Jen.
Oh, I was just saying it was a fabulous group of people last night. It was a fabulous group of people last night.
It was a watch-along of Gappa, and obviously my gorgeous lady here was on. But we had Triv. There was Triv from Trivia Teaser, Ethel, obviously wonderful, fantastic host, and the Soulless Trench Coat. I unfortunately, because I'm working Saturday mornings, I don't get a chance to attend these anymore. But definitely check out Ethel's watch-alongs. And I think there is a thing. Yeah, tomorrow night, it's her month to take over Sundays, and she's starting talking about Columbo. So yeah, definitely check that out. Also, my lady, my fantastic lady, what is on the pipeline for you and the string bean? For
Well,
you
I
and
would
Christian.
hope you're on my pipeline.
Wait, shouldn't that be you're on my pipeline?
Yeah, you're plugging your pipeline into my hole. You know.
Yeah, but then I'd be worried if you had a pipeline.
Yeah, I
Like,
guess
is there
that's true.
something you're not telling me?
Nothing to worry about, darling. Nothing. The doctor says it'll probably fall off before I go up to Ireland.
What? What?
What we have, Sparky should be returning soon from the the Lone Star state of Texas. We do have, we have not done our top 5 movies from 1982. We had a brain fart and forgot. I got sick. Christian got busy. So we are going to be doing a video in the next couple of days that should drop. And, the channel should get a little bit more regular once Sparky comes home. So that'll be nice. And I'm always looking forward to doing whatever we decide to do next Saturday, because these are always a blast, and I always enjoy doing I love doing our fun ones, but the serious ones they're always fun too, because you always bring such interesting takeaways, and sometimes you and me don't always see the same points, and I always think those are interesting discussions. So
there's a bit of dichotomy, but by and large, we always kind of bring out the best in each other when
yes,
when we're talking about that stuff. And yeah, keep in mind, guys, just because Jen is a sexy nymphomaniac and I'm a dude who likes monsters and fucking robots and weird shit, we can review adulty kind of serious movies. It's not really, it's not, it, we don't, I'm not saying we don't have fun with it, but we have more fun with these, but we can review serious stuff.
yeah,
And we do
and we
review
have a lot of
serious
fun
stuff.
when we do, or I always do. And Marty and I bring out the best each other and everything, not just YouTube, but I know Marty brings out the best in me. So
Bro. Bro. Sorry. See, I'm trying to like I can't best this lady. This lady is fantastic in every sense of the word. So I'm like I get caught for words, which is sometimes, you know that, right?
I do,
Which
but it's true. We do bring out the best in each other, and these are always fun, guys. These are a lot of fun, and I'm not sorry I saw Shadow Stevens. I have a newfound respect for Shadow Stevens. I always liked the dude, but now I really do have a respect for him, and I kind of want to delve into his other stuff. There was a short-lived TV show.
yeah, it was something Deuce Cannon. Christ, Malone or Marone, fuck it. We'll suss
Google.
that one. We'll Google it. But yeah, no. So definitely check out Ethel's stream tomorrow,
Yes,
and
13 original.
definitely check out this wonderful lady, because if you don't,
Check out Marty.
I'm never going to get this. It's like so
Me neither.
opposite way.
Yeah, there
So
we
you
go.
got to point. No, you're good. You're
Am I
pointing
going the
towards.
wrong way?
Yeah, you're going to one right there.
Okay, there we go.
There, let's touch our fingers. Okay, but I digress. I think we've said all we can say. Is there anything you'd like to add into the mix or the blender?
Not really. Oh, you have a Morbius oh, fuck you, Christian. You have a Morbius review out right now. A really good
I do.
one.
It's super short. It's a taster. I don't have any spoilers. You can check it out. I didn't hate the movie. But it's definitely not a good movie. It's by the numbers. It's one of those mid 2000s edgelord comic book movies, like fucking Ghost Rider and Daredevil. It wanted to be edgy, but doesn't have the balls to go all the way. Jared Leto, he does a good job for a dude who's head of a creepy sex cult. And Matt Smith, aka the Doctor, he's having fun. My problem is, okay, whoever the costume designer in this movie was, was a fucking idiot. Because guess how they dressed Matt Smith up?
How did they dress him up?
The exact same way as the Doctor when he was the Doctor in Doctor Who.
Wouldn't that be problematic?
Oh yes, it was like, why is Doctor Who trying to eat a prostitute's neck? I don't know. It's just that was playing in the back of my mind. I forgot to put that in the review. It's like, oh my god, they dress him the same attire he was when he was Doctor Who. It's like,
well, you know, Marty, I'll always go all the way for you.
you mean in a sex kind of way, right?
Uh-huh.
Sweet. Hey, Christian.
Hi, son. Oh, he wants us to do. He's asking when we're doing 9.5 weeks too.
What? When will? You know what? We'll do 9.5 weeks too. When you go visit Brad. Go visit Brad. Yeah, we'll do a stream for you and Brad to watch together, and he can do a commentary. He can do a stream on our stream. It'd be great.
Yeah, me and Marty will be going all the way, and you and Brad can do it.
Yeah. But yeah, no. TRAXX, fun movie. Definitely check it out. Jed, have you any idea what is the next Trashfire you're gonna pull out?
I don't know. Like I said, we're gonna probably be doing either mid-90s or You Were Not My Mother, or maybe both. I'll have to do some deep dive, and hopefully I'll make a better choice. It won't be 9.5 weeks too, I promise that. Maybe some porn. It's been a while since we've done porn. I still have 2 porns left. Who knows with me?
Are we going to do another pop culture pornopalooza?
Ooh, we might. I love those kind. That might be fun.
Yeah, we will. I tell you what, guys, in the comments, we have 6 people watching. Do you want Jen to pick a regular movie, or do you want her to pick a? DMC wants us to do Nothing But Trouble.
We could. That's an amazing movie. I don't consider it a Trashfire, but a lot of people do. That was a movie I rented a lot as a kid. I fucking love Nothing But Trouble. I don't know how you feel about it, Marty.
I liked it. I just never knew what the fuck I was watching. It was just
nobody did.
Dan Aykroyd is a dick for a nose, and there's 2 giant mutant babies.
Hot dogs.
Yeah, and there's
all
like
around
Chevy Chase turns into like Wile E. Coyote at the end. It's just weird.
It is, and John Candy does drag.
Can't go wrong. Cara, regular, please,
non-existent God, regular. Okay, we'll see. I'll try to find something good for you guys, and something that won't make Marty want to slit his wrist.
I got it right here. I keep it on the sill just in case.
You never know. I'm a wild card, but that'll be up in a couple of weeks. But probably we will be doing either mid-90s or You Are Not My Mother. I'm down for either one. I'm willing to go all the way, Mr. Green. Whatever you want. Mold me, shape me, spank me. Do whatever you will with me.
Maybe after I take a nap.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll put it. You know what? I'll put it on a post-it note. Like I was saying.
With the milk, right?
With the milk and doing my laundry. Speaking of which, I have laundry actually on. No fucking word of a lie.
Well, on that note.
Go on.
Well, on that note, I think that's about all we have to say. If you can track down TRAXX, it's worth it. It's a fun Trashfire. It gets the Jen and Marty seal of approval.
And that's the gold standard, right, babe?
Yeah, that's the gold standard. Golden shower, if you will.
There's that German side coming out. There's that fucking German side.
I'll be there, same people.
Sloan, have a good
Bye,
good
guys. See you
night.
next week.
Bye.
Bye.